This program is brought to you by Ubalaba Ilonggo Ware, Gralex Glass and Aluminum Services, Chicken House, Ting Ting's Native Food, Chong Tapsilogan and Sizzlers, and Green Tree Gelato.
There seems to be this perception na politics in the Philippines has been too dichotomized, too polarized. Nga daw, natunga na siya between two colors, the yellows and the reds. And there's also a growing perception na do wala na gets some choices because both sides have their own agenda. Do you think that that's also one of the reasons why we cannot rise as a nation and rise above our problems?
Well, unfortunately, ining perception is the product of failures sang political parties, and it is sad when people think that's the only ano tawag mo sa hasta na lang kita dira, no? Red or yellow. I think there is a significant proportion of the population that is neither red nor yellow. No? Unfortunately, kung adapt ka sa position that runs counter to the administration, you're labeled yellow.
True.
Kung imo naman niya kuan nga masiling ka, you know, Aquino hater ka, for example, pula ka naman. I guess tiyan mo ng isa naton ka balatian ang labeling lang. You get labeled yellow or red.
Which is quite surprising because you were saying a while ago, money politics, patronage politics, I vote for the leader who can fulfill what I need.
Yeah, correct.
That is actually strong in Negros.
Yeah.
The amo mentality.
Mm.
And then now you're talking about reds versus yellows. That's actually bulang. Negros also. Have we influenced the rest of the nation?
I don't know if you can call it influence, no? Because I think simultaneous ning phenomenon all over. Again, earlier you were pointing out to I don't know if it's typically Filipino mentality, meaning the peasant mentality, peasant mind. Nga you always look for a strong leader that you can depend on, and you don't necessarily place the burden on yourself to be, you know, more independent. But the labeling is, I think, one aspect that contributes to the polarization of the country. So when you choose to be critical of particular administration policies or actions, you get labeled yellow, and the issue does not get discussed. Diba?
Sure.
So people get discouraged from criticizing because matupa naman niliwat sa kay dilawan ka. No? When in fact, we should be creating a climate of healthy debate.
Like this, for example.
To talk about issues, no? The president is, for example, VFA, no? If you're critical of the president's position about VFA, then there should be a debate about the merits or demerits of the position. But when you say, I don't agree with the president's position, or worse, some people say, and which is unfortunate also, kagago ang presidente, it doesn't contribute to the discourse. But when you say, shouldn't the president first say, what does he think is wrong with the VFA? And what can be done to correct this wrong? Shouldn't the better option be to renegotiate or to find ways to make it better or more advantageous for the Philippines, rather than just say, putang ina nyo, pardon the phrase, anyway, the president says that all the time, because you insulted me, wala nang VFA. No, what kind of what kind of signal does that send to the nation? Nangutos ka, therefore, you set aside something that has been with us for since what? And you cannot deny the fact that the VFA has had certain benefits for the nation. Of course, kadamo sang nagsiling dapat wala, no, etc. But again, where is the debate? Wala, it's not happening. What is Congress doing now? May pa sa Senado, at least nagasiling, there are some people, some senators who are saying, you know, it's not the President's prerogative to declare or to end the VFA. Dapat ipasa yun sa Senado. Even that, you know, though wala na. So, we're kind of forgetting the issue already. So, wala na sang healthy discourse. Munang masubo. A lot of polarization. So, damo na sang natakan mag-express some opinions. When people start saying it's pointless to argue, to debate, because matupa man lang nagyapon sa insultuhanay, the ones who have strong opinions, who are ready to do something about it, are the ones who will dominate. The ones who keep quiet are the losers. That's what, sino nagsiling? Who's the famous personality who said the moment you begin to say nothing, something like that, your democracy weakens when people begin to say or begin to withdraw. Hindi ka na maghambal anything because amo man lang nagyapon, no? So we've lost that ability to discuss issues and to find a way of resolving the issue.
Or have we become more fragmented, especially in the age of social media? Everyone has his or her own echo chamber, ideological cave, or political ghetto.
Ina nga phenomenon, I think, the social media, I think, just really allowed the surfacing of what we already were.
Ang wala na lang subong political group on social media, ang barikoson mo.
No? So, subong na, tungod sa social media, all of a sudden, mabalaan mo na kung paano si Hannah magpaminsan. Balaan mo na kung anong attitude ni Julius. Mabalaan mo kung anong ginapinsar sa people you never even knew about. No? All of a sudden, somebody says, has an opinion that you disagree with. Somebody has an opinion that you strongly agree with. So, you choose sides. And social media makes this much more possible. So, nag-surface tanan. No? I don't think it was social media that changed us. Social media just surfaced all of these differences.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Kaya may platform.
Exactly.
Kamu naman kita siningadaan, we just didn't know about it because wala sang, social media. So, is social media healthy? Like anything, it can be dangerous when it goes to the extreme. Fire is good when used for cooking. Put yourself in the fire and it's bad. Social media is good for informing, for sharing, for socializing, but when it is used for fake news, for what's the term, meaning you don't address the issue but attack the person,
Trolling.
trolling or ad hominem, no? When social media is used for ad hominem attacks, then masiling ka mas maipatanim lang social media. But who is policing social media? Wala.
But it's supposed to be the last frontier.
Yeah, correct, no? So it goes where it will naturally lead to. Not as a result of being social media, but as a result of our being ourselves. Ga-surface lang ni tanan. Wala sang pulis.
Oh, which reminds me, in 2012, in Singapore, we were discussing about that, and then the former executive editor of Times, Ron Jabber, said, social media has no value. It is humans who put value into it.
Correct.
And it's happening right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, that I think that explains to some extent why I know a lot of friends who have switched off. Sometimes I'm still surprised, no? A friend tells me, wala na, why ko Facebook? I'm not in Facebook anymore. You say, really? Then you ask, why not? Taka na. Fake news, all, a lot of people find social media no longer meaningful or valuable for them. And then you ask, well, where do you get your news? Well, from the traditional media. Wala na sang access to opinions. Come to think of it, social media has allowed all of us to become opinionated. And maybe that's part of the problem. It's become so easy to become opinionated. And as a survey said, Filipinos are the most confident about their opinions in spite of the fact that they are the least informed.
But that is actually true democracy. The essence of true democracy is
Exactly.
you have the informed and the uninformed fighting it out in a forum. This is the modern agora.
Oh. Yeah.
The modern agora, the modern forum. But is it good? Is it good? You're listening to Rafael Coscolluela, former governor. And when we come back, let's talk about HDI. Let's talk about the figures after this.